Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and namaste to one and all present here. We welcome our speaker of the day, the Vice President of Rotary International, Pat Merryweather, to this mega international joint meeting with cultural event. So now we will not waste much time because we have some cultural program that will take some time. So now I request that call the meeting to order.
Thank you so much, Smita ji, and welcome everybody to another exciting meeting for the Rotary Club's mega meeting. I, Oswem Isiri Onyebolise, I hereby call this meeting to order. Thank you.
Now I request the Zoom host, Rotarian GM Najmul Hossain, to play the Rotary anthem and request everyone to rise for the Rotary anthem. Thank you. May I now request the convener, Ambassador Ozium Esri, to give the welcome address.
First of all, I want to really appreciate and welcome our Rotary International Vice President to this mega meeting. Even with the shortest time, she had to make the time to be as a guest for this meeting. I also want to welcome past district governor and all the district governor present in this meeting and all the Rotary leaders and representatives here present. Welcome to this mega meeting, a meeting that brings Rotarians together to share friendship, fellowship, and goodwill from all across the world. Welcome once again for being our guest. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now request past President Rotarian Dr. Pallavi Maji of Rotary Club of Burdwan, India, to give the introduction of this mega meeting platform and recognition of the organizing co-host clubs. Over to you, Rotarian Pallavi Maji.
Thank you, Rotarian Dr. Smita Singha, AG, from RID 3262. Greetings from RID 3240. Welcome everyone to Rotary Club's joint international mega meeting platform initiated by Rotarian Ambassador Ozium Esiri. This platform connects Rotary clubs around the world to hold joint meetings on a common topic of interest. Of late, we had organized several meetings inviting world leaders to address us. Most recently, during the last 6 months, RI President Gordon McLeany, President-elect Stephanie Archie, and CEO RI John Hecko has addressed us on various burning issues. On the UN Day of Elimination of Violation Against Women, RIPN, Mario Cesar de Camargo, and DG Ifania Rita Elezi addressed us. Today, we are fortunate to have RI Vice President Pat Merryweather with us to address on mental health. Today's meeting convener is Ambassador Rotary and OCM SRE, and co-hosts are Rotary Clubs of Sapelegra and the RI District 3110 from Nigeria, Greater Dhaka from Bangladesh, Bhubaneswar Flamingo, Chennai Gemini, Bardwan, E-Club, Coastal Bay of District 3262, Siliguri Metropolitan, Mangaluru, Platinum City. All these are all from India. And from Nepal, Rotary Club of Balaju. And from Sri Lanka, UBA Hills and Pandaveshwara, Mirpukas Sadar and Mirpukas Paradise from Pakistan, Hull Paragon from UK, El Penan from Venezuela, Gordon Rotary Club Kulubu and RI District 2440 from Turkey, Manila 101 from Philippines, Nairobi Nong Road from Kenya, E-Club from World Peace from USA, and Brasilia International from Brazil. Thank you so much.
The RI president stresses on the importance of mental health. And for mental health and peace building, dance and music play a very important role. So as we are approaching the end of 2023, the clubs decided that we must showcase the diversity of our culture through dance and music. So initially we had decided that we will go for a competition, but since till now we are getting entries, more and more entries, so we decided, so let's have a celebration this time. Next time we are going to have the competition. So let's enjoy the dance and music from various parts of the world. And it is very important that we must appreciate the other people's culture for our own mental health and for peace building process. So now I request GM Najmul Hussain to play the videos of the different cultural events which we have received earlier. And those videos which I have received today, we are going to have it on another day with a competition.
Dhag digin dha dha ting, dhag digin dha dha ting, dhag digin dha dha dini taka de dina ka da dini de dina ka da dini taka de ti da ga digi da 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 ga digi da de ti da ga digi da ga digi da de ti da ga digi da ga digi da de ti da ga digi da ga digi da de ti
látàárọ̀ lálẹ́. lọ́wọ́ àgbẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ No. David. David. Hello. Toilet. What's your mic? What's your mic?
Tumeanza shamba za Malaika Festival. Twende! Sanga. Hey, Malaika, hey, Malaika.
Every contemporary dance move you say today probably got taken out of a traditional African dance move. So today on No Afro, we move into one of Africa's most popular nations, Nigeria, to discover 10 of the most amazing traditional dances performed in this country. We have already covered that of Ghana, South Africa, and Cameroon. So get your dancing shoes ready, because these dance moves are tight. Let's begin.
Oh, Afro.
10.
A combi dance. Kombi is a graceful dance performed by Efik people in Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. These dance moves are derived from ocean waves. Look at that. This is one graceful dance with incredible footwork, signifying peace and happiness.
9.
Atilogu dance. The Igbo tribe of Nigeria are geniuses when it comes to culture and tradition. Atilogu is a question, which literally means, is this magic? Another version of the Atilogu dance is mostly done by men. Swange dance. Trust me when I say you haven't yet seen anything as captivating as this dance. Swange is one of the best dances in Africa. It is indigenous to the Tiv people of central Nigeria. Swange is usually performed in ceremonies for its entertainment qualities. Who doesn't enjoy seeing women wind their waist? Don't enjoy this alone. Share with a friend.
7.
Oroso dance. Isoso dance is a combination of movements from various traditional dances of the Fulani and Hausa people of Kano State, Nigeria. The dance, which from inception hinged on a particular pattern of steps and body movement, has evolved over time. The dancers are usually adorned with bracelets and rattling beads worn on the legs called koroso. The music is just as captivating as the dance.
6,
Banta dance. This energetic break dance originates from Sango, the Yoruba god of lightning and thunder. It is believed the god of thunder is athletic, hence this movement. There are different styles of the dance, and body movement are based on the rhythm of the instruments played. There is this, and this one. Well, this in particular is known as the Furajiga. Kwaumu Agboho dance. This dance has its origin among the people of Ebonyi State, Nigeria. The dance is also known as the maiden dance because it is an all-girls exclusive dance, i.e. those girls that are arrived and ready for marriage. So what are these guys doing? I have no idea. The dance involves vigorous twisting of the waist in a seductive way so as to attract suitors. Well, if you think this one is on a whole new level, wait until you see this one. This traditional music ensemble is accompanied by a maiden dance, popular among the Nsukka people of Enugu State, Nigeria.
Thank you, PP Najmul Hussain, for showing the dances, but we regret that there was a network issues and we could not show the dance as it were planning to show. Sorry for that. And with this, now I request PP Najmul Hussain to introduce our guest, Rotarian Pat Merryweather, Rotary International Vice President of Mental Health. So over to you, Najmul.
Thank you. Thank you, Charter President Dr. Smita Sinha. Hello, everyone. Warm greetings from Bangladesh. This is Past President Jem Nazmul Hossain from Rotary Club of Greater Dhaka, District 3281, Bangladesh. Once again, this is an absolute privilege to introduce to you our today's guest speaker, Patricia Merryweather Urges. She is Rotary International Board Vice President 2023-24 and has served in many roles and capacities in District 6450 and her Rotary Club, Naperville. She has been a Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator, Chair or Convener for 5 institutes, Presidential Peace Conference Chair in Chicago in 2018, and has traveled to over a dozen countries working in global grants and programs. She is the WASH Board Chair-elect, served as the Chair of Health Outcomes and Patient Safety of the International Rotary Fellowship of Healthcare Professionals, and is a member of SRAC, Rotary Action Group for Peace, and Rotary Action Group for Mental Health. Patricia is Executive Director of Project Patient Care, a non-for-profit organization bringing forward the voices of the patients, family, and caregiver. Project Patient Care works collaboratively with providers, government, and non-government organizations in health and healthcare policy and healthcare initiatives and care delivery. Pat serves as the Executive Director of a Medical Quality Innovation Network, a quality improvement organization covering 3 states, and Senior Vice President of the Illinois Hospital Association. Pat serves on several local, international, and international boards and committees and is an active volunteer on health and peace building initiatives in and around Chicago, nationally as well as internationally. Pat and her husband, Rotarian George, have 4 sons, 3 daughters-in-law, 7 grandchildren, and 2 dogs. Pat and George are major donors, Paul Harris Society members, Polio Plus Society members, and endowment donors. With that short introduction, I would like to welcome Rotary International Vice President Patricia to deliver her speech. Madam, the screen is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited. I have to say that I was very impressed with the music that was displayed. Music is universal. Whenever we hear a song or music, it really is, it touches all of us. And the dance, what a great way. It's morning time for me, so it's a great way to start my day, energized and filled with hope and just joy. So thank you all for everything you did to assemble all that music and dance. I enjoyed the video so much. And I've been to many of your countries. I've been to working on global grants and other initiatives. I was just thinking about it as it was playing. Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, India, Thailand, South Korea, Jordan, many different places that many of you represent. So thank you for allowing me to present to you and talk to you about mental health. You are the leaders, you are the Rotarians that are addressing mental health. And it's in various stages that we all are moving ahead, trying to create parity. Now, I don't know if I should bring up my slides or if my slides will be brought up. Do I bring them up?
You can bring them up, or I can also showcase to you, whichever is convenient for you.
Okay, I'll bring it up because then I can.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And today, what I want to do is just lay some groundwork, frame the issue, and identify ways that Rotarians and countries are starting to address the issues of mental health. Mental health is, in many parts of the world, we treat it the same way as we do physical health. There's acute episodes, and then there's chronic episodes. And sometimes people don't understand chronic mental health conditions where somebody may need support, just like if you had diabetes or a heart condition. Sometimes you need that level of support throughout your life. So again, think of it in terms of acute and chronic. And the pandemic, we all know, didn't do any good for many of us. It brought about isolation of the elderly. In many countries, the elderly were isolated. And sometimes in the United States, they were in nursing homes in their own room for a year and a half. They couldn't leave their room. And so the physical loss of mobility, as well as just not being engaged with anyone. So again, it really had an effect on everyone. And then we've seen an increase in youth ideation. And ideation is having the thoughts of suicide. There's bullying that goes on, as well as the effects of social media. Social media sometimes idolizing the suicides. And so we have our youth that are suffering. We have adults, increase in suicides, opioid addiction, all of the social determinants of health, which include, economics, housing, family life, all of education, all of those factors that affect somebody's health mental health and physical health are also pressure points that we've seen. Now, the effects of war and violence cannot be underestimated because it plays a key role in the lives of many people. People that are, for example, in Gaza, in Ukraine, in other Sudan, many places around the world where war and violence is there, it does have an effect. And I'll talk about that a little later because I do have a personal experience with that as well. And then we have migrants. The migrants, you know, it's hard for me to understand, and many of you may have know people that have experienced this, but one day you wake up and all of a sudden everything you've known is gone. And that can be through war, violence, extreme poverty, changes in the economics of a nation. But it also can be from the environmental effects, flooding. For example, what happened in Pakistan in September of 2022 with the flooding of the Sindh area. And I've been to Pakistan as well. I mean, there's many areas that we're feeling the effects of the environment. And oftentimes we have youth saying, if everything's so bad, why aren't the adults doing anything to make change? And so again, I think you're seeing that the youth are feeling the effects that the adults may not be handling things the best way. Now, the beauty of our Rotary vision is it talks about together where we see people uniting, creating lasting change. And this is what is key. It's across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So it's making sure that we also are not only taking care of others, but we're taking care of ourselves and our Rotary family. Now, what are some of the conditions that have been driving the increase in mental health conditions? Anxiety. So if you're, as we talked about, the social determinants of health, that can have a major effect on being anxious. And sometimes anxiety doesn't allow you to do daily living activities because you're so anxious. This is a real condition, such as is depressive disorders. Many people, when they were isolated from others, developed depression, sometimes for the first time ever. But it was the effects of the pandemic. And then we also have conditions such as bipolar, schizophrenia among typically starting in the 20s or a little bit younger, and eating disorders. But the two major ones, anxiety and depressive disorders, we can work through those issues, but it's having the right people, the talented people, the experienced professionals to help us through that. And with this, there have been many studies done that it's great to be a Rotarian because the studies show that the more you are engaged in helping others, it does contribute to your health and mental health well-being. And then also the ability to be with others. That was even for Rotarians that were only seeing each other by Zoom during the pandemic. It had an effect on many, but now that we're back and seeing people, it's that engagement. We're human beings. We're meant to engage with others and be working with others as well. Now, I just want to show you too the effects of what's going on with the refugees. We have more refugees than ever before in the world, in the world's time. So we have people that are fleeing and going to different locations. I was in 2007, I was in when parts of Kenya experienced xenophobia in the area just west of Nairobi. And people they were displaced and they were in camps. And then I also went to Jordan, and Jordan has a large encampment as well. And people there, you know, they had been lawyers, they had been teachers, they had been professionals, and they had lost everything because they were displaced. And it was a very humbling experience to be there, because I saw the depression, the lack of hope. Remember, we're creating hope in the world, and that was gone for many people. So we have opportunities as Rotarians, not only to talk about mental health, but talk about the effects of peace, and how peace really does have an effect on mental health, and how violence and war does have an effect on mental health in a negative way. And then the ultimate, you know, sometimes the major thing that people look at oftentimes are suicide. And this is just to give you a rate of suicide in the United States in 2022. The CDC estimates that we had 50,000 people that died by suicide. And that was the largest ever in the United States for a year. So we're not unique. That has happened across the world. And the positive thing that has come out of the increase in suicide is people are decriminalizing it. In many countries, it still is a criminal activity to commit suicide, whereas in the countries that have decriminalized it, and recently a number have gone through that decriminalization as a result of the pandemic, it does help to bring about more mental health services and support. And the demand for mental health services is the highest I have ever seen in my time in healthcare, and that's over 30 years. The demand worldwide and in my own country is at the highest peak ever. Now, you have some countries that have very high rates of suicide, and then you also have countries that have very low rates of suicide. So it's looking to see what are those countries with low rates of suicide doing, and how can we find out and model what they're doing to affect low rates, and then also work with those that have high rates of suicide. Now, there is a great deal of support from Rotary. There's the Rotary Mental Health Action Group. They have a toolkit that is readily accessible and available. You can also join for a nominal fee the mental health group, or just even monitor their website, because that's free. And they have a great deal of data and information, as well as resources and sharing of best practices. You can partner with local organizations. Local organizations always love for people to come and be their partner, because especially when it's Rotary, because they have a major trust in Rotary and faith that Rotary will deliver and work with them. And then with our own clubs, one of the things we, President Gordon has emphasized this, is that we have to say it's okay to not be okay. That sometimes you don't feel exactly the most cheerful, or you're not having the best day or the best week or the best month or best year. But it's okay to say that we don't feel okay. And it's not just to say, how are you doing? He likes to say, how are you doing really? To add that on. And he talks about the one time that, and this is the distinction, we have to take away the stigma of mental health. It's not a failure. It's a condition, and many people go through this condition, and it's similar to physical health. We don't know a lot about mental health conditions, but we know it's very similar, that you can provide services and support. And he said what was interesting is, and this is a couple of Christmases ago, that is one of the persons in his club, one of the Rotarians in his club, was hospitalized. They had fallen and did something with their ankle, and everyone was sending that person cards because they were at home. They really couldn't get around. And then there was another person that had been hospitalized because they had a breakdown, a mental health breakdown, and nobody said anything. And he said, that's the difference we've got to get away from, is we need to be saying and supporting people that have mental health conditions. And that's right in our own clubs, in our own communities, and certainly in our world. But there is hope, because we now are talking about it, we are recognizing it, and we're beginning to address it. Now, the Mental Health Rotary Action Group has 3 areas that they're focused on. One is breaking the stigma. We do have to break the stigma. We do have to talk about it, and it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to somebody that isn't feeling well, and we know we can provide some support. So asking for help and being there to help is really important. The other way is raising the awareness. Yes, we are talking about mental health. And before, I would say, and I do a lot with healthcare, I would say almost all of our global grants in disease prevention and treatment were physical. Now we're seeing global grants that are focused on mental health. And we have countries reaching out to Rotary, asking for assistance for mental health. And some of that is in areas where there's a great deal of violence, war occurring, that they need mental health support services because they know people are suffering, and they may not be physically suffering, but they're mentally suffering from the effects of war and violence. But again, talking about mental health, and not just with each other, reaching out to our communities, supporting our youth, supporting our elderly. The 2 areas that have been greatly affected by the pandemic were youth. Many of them lost, time from school. Young people weren't able to really socialize with other people. I have 7 grandchildren, and 2 of them were born during the pandemic. And one it just really couldn't get over that there were other children. They were the only child in their family, and they couldn't see that there were other children their own age because they couldn't be around other children. So again, the socialization issues, as well as for the elderly, being isolated, and still many of them are isolated, it really does have a major effect on their well-being, but especially the pandemic really had an impact. But we can increase our impact, and I'm very excited about this in the United States. We don't have enough mental health providers. I don't think any country has enough mental health providers, psychiatrists, psychologists, licensed clinical social workers. In the United States, for the first time ever, starting January 1st, the marriage counselors and family counselors, those are trained peer specialists, and peer specialists will now be covered financially for their services that they provide. That's an additional 400,000 professionals that will be able to support people in the United States. So when we think about increasing our impact, it's also us talking about it, getting services, activating, working with others, and not just, for conditions such as depression, anxiety, even addiction. You can use other people that are trained, but may not be the psychiatrist or the psychologist. So again, think about how you can increase your impact by learning from others. And it's not the United States invented this. We took it from other countries that were being successful at getting services to others. So the idea is break the stigma, start talking about it, take away criminalization of suicide, because it's death by suicide. It's not something that somebody wants to do. It feels that's their only alternative. And we need to be able to address that. We need to raise awareness that, again, we know people are feeling it. How do we say that mental health is similar to physical health? It's acute, it's chronic, but it can be treated and maybe not cured, but treated. And it sometimes is lifelong. And then increasing our impact, seeing where the resources are in our community and where they're lacking, and seeing what can be done, whether it's through working with your elected officials, working with other Rotarians, working with groups that may not be that familiar with communities, and bringing them into your community. Now, I always say that when somebody approaches me, and I have to say, I was at a Pets last year, and I was taken aback myself. I had a line of people after I gave a presentation on mental health, of people that came up and were telling me how they, a family member or a friend or somebody they knew had been affected by mental health condition. And then the last person that came up to me, she was sort of waiting towards the end, was a president-elect. And she said, I attempted suicide, and this was 3 months before. And she said, I'm so glad that I was not successful, but there are days that I feel that I wish I had been successful. So she was struggling. And I asked her, I said, do you mind if I talk to your district governor about this and make sure that somebody's checking in with you all the time? And she said, no, I'd love that. And I always ask, do you need help? Do you just need to be heard? I need to listen, not dismiss. When somebody says, I'm having a bad day, or this is really bothering me, don't say, well, things will get better. Talk to them. Don't dismiss how they're feeling. Accept how they're feeling and have a conversation with them. And then sometimes people just need a hug. They need to know that somebody cares and is with them. So think about that. I always ask, do you need help? Do you need me to listen to you? Can we talk about this? And then sometimes it's just that hug that people need to know that they're feeling loved and cared for as well. They're part of it. Now, the reason I have this picture here, this is my family, my 4 sons and grandchildren. And family is most important to me. And I think to everyone, having family and friends that you can count on. But one of my sons was in the service, and he came home from the service after several deployments. And everyone thought, and I thought, he was doing good. He was adjusting well. He was out of the service. We thought he was doing well. And then one day he just broke down. It was a major breakdown. And he was crying. He was sobbing. He was angry. He was all the emotions you can imagine. And I really thought we were going to lose him. He was in such a bad state. So we couldn't in the military. The military didn't have, the openings they had were for 1 month. They could see once a month him in a group session. And my husband and I looked at each other and said, this is not going to happen. It's not, we can't do that. He needs help now. And so we did get him into private care. We said if we had to sell our home, we'd sell our home. But he's doing well now. It took almost a year, and he does get help continuously. He's fully functional. He works, he's employed, he goes out, he has fun with friends and that. And you see that big dog there? That's his service dog. That dog knows exactly when he's feeling anxiety and when the dog needs to support him. So again, it can happen in any family. I didn't think it was going to happen in our family. I didn't think we were going to have to deal with it, but we did. And that's what makes it so challenging, even like with a physical condition. You never know when you're going to get cancer. I mean, but we never know when something mental health will occur in our own family, in our community of Rotary, in our communities, and in our world. So we have an opportunity as Rotarians to really affect change and to bring about change. And there's many ways we can do it, but to do nothing is not a solution. We have to activate ourselves, and we really have to work to achieve parity with physical health and mental health, get the services to the communities that are needed, and know that it is a treatable condition. Sometimes it's curable, but not always. And recognize that and take that into our communication with others, that it's okay not to be okay. And we as Rotarians are going to support each other and support our communities to bring about everyone being okay. So thank you for listening. And I'm here for any questions or comments you may have.
Thank you, Pat, for giving very important tips on the mental health. And we must break the ice. And before we have the question answer session, I request PDG Ijoma Okoro, who is the TRF trustee elect, to take the question answer session and give some remarks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vice President Pat. I just feel like hugging you, the beer hug and all that. Just hug, 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 hug.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I listened so attentively, and the very beautiful part was how you ended. You said it is okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And I wish each and every one of us would take that back, because the thing about mental health is people feeling ashamed, feeling so locked in, not included. They don't want to talk about it. They don't even want to be associated with one mental behavior or the other. And that your last line just gave it all out. It is okay to be not to be okay. And I want to believe that all Rotarians that listen this afternoon where I am in Nigeria anyway, will actually take something back. Thank you, Vice President Pat. Thank you so much for simplifying this. The beautiful thing is the way you just reeled it out. Everybody felt at home, at least me, I felt at home listening and really taking it in. And for the last picture you showed about your family, I mean, it does happen. Beautiful family. We do not even know that one of us, like the Abbas will say in their music, one of us is crying. How do you know when one of us is crying? How do you know when one of us is hurting? If we make it impossible for them to open up, if we don't allow them to talk about it, if we just, exclude them to the point where they just go into a cocoon of their own, like somebody being lonely amidst people. Thank you, Vice President Pat. I'm sure you'll take the hug. I'll meet you in another few days in Orlando.
Yes.
So I can't wait. You must get this hug. I must take this hug from you.
I feel
you so
your
much.
virtual hug.
Thank you so much. My dear friends, I'm sure you're as excited as I am. I don't know whether there's anybody that has question or a contribution. Can you, let me see, I need to put on full screen. Who has, how do I now see? Hold on 1 minute. Show, I'm trying to, okay, that's it. So, do we have any person who wants to ask a question or make a comment while we still have our amiable Vice President Pat in the house? It's not very easy to get such people to spend 30 minutes or 1 hour in a garden like this, especially at this time. So let's not keep her waiting for too long. Oh, there goes Rocio Kakis. I hope I got it right. Rocio. Tom, please help me if I didn't get this name right. Hi, pretty Rocio. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nice to be
Fine,
here.
go ahead.
Thank you so much for your exposition. Actually, it has been really, really nice hearing you. But while you were exposing the different kind of peoples that actually can come to mental health, is a big issue that I've been noticed nowadays. I've been a GO Youth Actions Officer for my club for 3 years on a row. And for the first time, one of my action students asked me to go to therapy, to go to the psychologist, because he was having problems in coping with the cultural changes, because at least here in my country, we are more hugging people and more social people, and kids at school is like, if you don't talk to them, he told me, it's like, at my school, if I didn't talk to somebody in 2 weeks was fine, but here, if I don't talk to somebody each day, he's like, are you mad with me? What's wrong with you? Did I do something? And it was so much sociability maybe for him that he asked me, and the awareness that he had of mental health was so big that a point that I would like to be here now and let all the people in the meeting knows that when you have an inbound, you need to be certain of that. And one thing that I discovered is that on the medical insurance that we as Rotary do with CCI company insurance doesn't cover mental health. Can you believe that? I've been struggling with the family in the United States, trying to get the refunds from the therapy, because it only refunds when it is something medical, is an ill or it was an accident. But we have been struggling with CCI. We're still doing the paperwork with the insurance company, trying to get the refunds for that. So for now, the parents in the United States are sending every week money for the psychologist. But I believe that we as a Rotarian, we should include in this how we handle these 8,000 students approximately we send abroad every year, and how we can handle with him all this mental health, because it's a big issue for them, all the changes that they are going through. And they're teenagers, so you need to add that too.
I did not realize that the insurance for the Rotary Youth Exchange does not include mental health services. And so I actually am going to bring that up to Rotary and let them know
because
that they need to.
Did the first approach to the company, they said this wasn't covered. So we are trying to figure out a way that will be covered. So still the parents, it's like now CCI told us that we need to do all the paperwork by paper, not online. So we just sent this week we sent all the paperwork on paper to the parents by mail on the United States, so they can keep doing it that. But it hasn't been easy. But still, my big shout out here in this meeting is not for you to take care about this in RI, but also to keep an eye of our inbounds, because at least for the first 2 months, I noticed that he was uncomfortable, but he didn't want to speak. So how we only just be aware of how they do, but actually to read in between the lines. to care about them, because we are raising the future leaders, and to be there, as you said, like to hug, to hurt, and there was another, I totally forgot.
Hug. Yeah. I think that's, that's excellent. I did have somebody from the US that was an inbound student. Actually, they were inbound to the US. And I did get a call from a district governor that they had seen that this person who was thin to begin with was losing a great deal of weight, and felt that the person had some eating disorders, and they did get help. It just so happened that some Rotarians are in the mental health field, and they helped out that way. But it was a significant amount of loss. And yes, there was an eating disorder involved. So you're right. Watching having them talk about how they're feeling, how they're adjusting, because that's great, though, that you spotted it right away. And I will work with Rotary to make sure that in Rotary Youth Exchange, and that mental health is covered, because it can be as significant as physical health for a student coming in. So thank you for recognizing that and bringing that to everyone's attention.
Yeah, because at first, when I bring the parents to the US, they say, but the health insurance can cover that. We don't need to send money for that. But actually, the way that you can get the refunds, or how to make them the insurance pay, has been really, really hard to deal with. And mental health cannot wait for that. So I don't know, let's keep an eye in our youth, and maybe if you can help me with something with the protocol with CCI, so to make it easier, will be great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will, because they should be treating it the same way as physical health, quite honestly.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, Rocio, I hope you got all the answers you needed. Now in the chat, thank you. In the chat room, somebody had dropped a message.
You are always right.
Somebody has lost a wedding and is going through some financial help and wants to take her life. And the Rotarian mommy that posted, I think that's from Nigeria, is asking, what should I do to help? Somebody is about to take her life. What she should be doing at this point?
Well, one, she should be fully supported, and somebody should be with her. A friend should be with her, and whether that friend takes her into the house, or but somehow, if she's at that point, certainly getting mental health services for her. And if there's mental health providers in the community, as well as reaching out. I just saw that in the chat, somebody, a president of a Rotary Club that's in the United States, he's going to be president of his club. He is a mental health professional. So reaching out to Rotarians and say, hey, and without disclosing the name, but saying, I have somebody, is there somebody that can help her? She may not have the wherewithal, the financial wherewithal. Sometimes people are afraid to seek care because they don't want to spend money or take money away from their children, or reaching out to other Rotarians to see what is available. Also, municipal governments and the governments oftentimes in states or communities often have listings of mental health professionals as well. But certainly if somebody is feeling that and seems to be at the end, it's not to say, oh, you'll be okay, you'll be fine. It's really, they're reaching out and they're saying, I need help now. And professionals can be very helpful with that, but also making sure the person is not alone, that they're with somebody, whether they move in or temporarily somebody stays with them, but they need that level of help. It is a cry for help. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you so much. You know, like she rightly said in her presentation, we need to give a listening ear. As Rotarians, we must find a way to show the world that we care. We must make ourselves available. We must show that we are a listening group. We may not solve all the problem, but we can lend an ear to listen out, because they say that once you hear a problem is already half solved. So even as Rotarians, at every point, whether in our clubs or in our district, we must continue to share, to show that we are a sharing organization. And then people will find it easy to reach out to us to say, hey, can I talk to you about something? Can I confide in you? Can you just listen to me? And that would be probably all the person needs to get to the next stage. Thank you so much, VP Pat. You are so awesome. And I mean, from the chat room, it's obvious that the way you did your presentation made everybody feel at home, and it was easy to identify with. Thank you so much for being part of us. Thank you so much for giving your time. And thank you, President Gordon, for making mental health, like a spotlight in his year of service. Before now, we hardly talk about it. There are things we talk about now so freely. People you thought had it all. Now we know that it's not Uhuru, they're not 100% there. So I want to thank our president for making this possible. And I know my incoming president, Steph, will have so much to also to offer to us by the time we meet in January. Thank you so much. And did I say compliments of the season?
Yes.
Compliments of the season. Enjoy your Christmas and have a good holiday.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you at International Assembly. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
all
we'll
of us
hug.
with Tom. So much. And I'll get the hug. I'll get the hug.
Thank you,
Over to you,
Izima.
Smita.
And thank you. And now I request our Vice President to recognize all the participants who has given their cultural performances. And I request Najmul Hussain of Greater Dhaka to present those certificates, virtual certificate. Over to you, Najmul.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Charter President. And here goes the certificate of appreciation. Today's participant, those who actually enroll for showcasing their cultural heritage and diversity. And here are the name of the club: Rotary Club of Hassan Midtown from India. The previous one was Rotary Club of Bhubaneswar Royal from India. And then Rotary Club of Balaju, they are from Nepal. And Rotary Club of Bhubaneswar Flamingo. And it was from DG Srinivas Murthy and Rotarian Rashmi from District 3192, India. And from Nigeria, we have Rotary Club of Ikorodu, Golden. Rotary Club of Bayo from Kenya, District 9212. They also send their entries. Rotary Club of Sepeli Gara, that's from Nigeria, 9141 district. That's all for the appreciation from our side. We will send you all these clubs, those who send our entries. We will send our appreciation directly to them. Thank you once again, and over to you, MC.
Thank you. And now I request Rotarian Tom Gomes, so aide to Rotary International President-elect Stephanie, to propose the vote of thanks and wish happy birthday to DG Elvis and recognize all the dignitaries who are here, and also give the closing remarks.
Well, thank you, Shamitsa, for allowing me to do that. I am honored to do that. It's just a pleasure to be here with all of you today to celebrate everything that's going on in the Rotary world. You know, Pat is a friend of mine. She is my director. And to me, the most important thing about Rotary is the friendships we made, like all the friendships we have here today on our call. And Pat's a friend to the world. I mean, whether you go to Hyderabad or wherever you go in the world, you can see plaques on buildings for dialysis centers and water treatment plants that Pat has worked on. So it was an honor to have her speak to us on mental health, and her being in the industry, healthcare in general, she is knowledgeable. And, you know, it's great because she not only told us the problem that, you know, brought to light the severity of the issue, but she also gave us concrete steps that we can take in order to do better. And also she gave us hope. You know, my family and I, we had an exchange student a few years back from Valencia, Spain. And 2 weeks after he came to live with us, his father died via suicide. And, you know, it was one of those moments when we talk to psychologists that it affects teenagers who are usually egocentric in their thoughts, thinking the world evolves around their actions. You know, he was blaming himself for his father's death. Well, that was the time in my life where I came to realize that Rotary is more than just a club, it's a family. And we had hundreds, literally hundreds of Rotarians from the districts around us who came to support us because his father and his family were Catholic, as we were, but in Spain, they would not allow a funeral because of the issues that Pat was saying. It seemed to be wrong. So we had a service for him, and everyone came out that night. And throughout the year, we had people come to bring their dogs because our son that came to visit us from, I don't want to use his name, from Spain, he missed his dog. And there were people who taught him how to snowboard. He wanted to snowboard, box, and play piano. He did all those things. It ends up being a happy story because at the end, he went on the East Coast trip with all the other exchange students. And now he's studying to be an engineer and he's got his first internship. But we could not have done that without our Rotary family. So I look at this screen and I am just proud to be a Rotarian because if anyone can make a difference in this world, especially in this instance, it's all of us. So thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pearl. And I'm looking forward to those hugs soon.
Today is actually the birthday of DG Elvis of District 9125. Happy birthday, DG. I hope he's here. He was here.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate this gesture. Actually, my birthday was yesterday, but because of time difference, I know some of you will be celebrating it today. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm equally happy to be part of this conversation. Mental health is becoming a contemporary issue now. So it's quite topical, it's quite timely, especially when you consider the things that are going on around the world now, crises here and there, and disasters. So I think I want to lend my voice to appreciate Vice President Pat and a few words the aid to the president-elect has added to this conversation. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Now over to OGM Esri to give announcement, if any. And OGM. Please
I think
unmute.
right now, okay. Can you hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Strategy, for this great meeting. For now, we actually don't have any announcement. The only announcement we have right now is that our group will be visiting Australia in February 1st. we're going to be celebrating with Rotarians in Australia to celebrate the Rotary Centenary, 100 years of Rotary in Southern Australia. And join us on this trip as we celebrate Rotary Centenary with friends, family, guests to Australia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. May I now request GM Najmul Hussain of Rotary Club of Greater Dhaka to give the attendance statistics.
Thank you, Smita ji, once again. And it was a wonderful meeting, mega meeting once again. And thank you, Patricia, for your nice deliberation. It was a wonderful speech, an enlightening speech for us. And thank you so much for joining. And in today's meeting, we have seen Rotarians joining in large number. It was around 100 participants today. And across all the continents, we have Rotarian participated in this meeting. So thank you so much for joining in these meetings from wherever you joined. Once again, thank you. And over to you, Smita ji.
Thank you, Najmul.
Thank you. And now I request OGM to adjourn the meeting. And before that, wishing everybody Merry Christmas and a very, very Happy New Year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And Happy New Year.
And happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much,
Merry Christmas,
giving us this
everybody.
opportunity once again. But I would like to ask
It was a winter
the past district
vacation,
governor,
so
Ijoma, to actually give the closing remark, because I just call out
Merry
because
Christmas.
I've always been there for this mega meeting group. So my past district governor, Ijoma, please humbly and kindly take this historic closing remark for this year. And one very quick announcement. We are going to be having a Christmas meeting, a Rotary Christmas meeting. We can send a link. You can come online with your Father Christmas card with your family and say hello to Rotarians from all around the world. We are going to be having Rotarians from different parts of the world on Christmas Day in the afternoon, a Rotary time. Thank you. Over to you, my past district governor, Ijoma, for the closing remark.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Esiri. First, I want to thank you first for your resilience, for your consistency in uniting the world, putting the world under a tube. You've been consistent in this series, and I don't want us to take it for granted. Thank you so much for who you are and for what you are doing. And for Smita that has been there all this while, I want to thank you and your team. I used to look forward to this encounter, having all the law. It's like having the whole world inside my sitting room. And it feels so good, you know, sharing the power of Rotary, the magic of Rotary with everyone inside my house. This is awesome, with no thanks to COVID, with more thanks to technology that enabled us to do this. I want to thank all of you once again, to thank our Vice President, Pat, for taking mental health to the home, you know, presenting it in such a way that each and every one of us felt like listening and not stopping. Thank you so much for coming around. And my very dear friend, the great trailblazer, Tom, thank you for all you're doing to assist our incoming president. I can't wait to hug you too in Orlando in a few weeks. Fellow Rotarians from all over the world. This is the beauty of Rotary. Rotary is a family, and this is the family month when we celebrate ourselves, celebrate families for all their support, celebrate our children, our spouses, our parents, and all those that make up the family of Rotary. I want to thank all of you for being here despite the tight schedule. In a few days' time, it's going to be Christmas. Remember that Christmas is not just for us, it's about those people out there who do not have. Please find it in your heart to share a sweet, a biscuit, a Coke, water, or something. Show them that Rotary cares. For everything you do this holiday, let mark of Rotary be there with you. Find an opportunity to talk to someone about Rotary and a little bit of what we have done, especially what you see at my backdrop, what we have done in the eradication of polio. We have not done yet. We are only 99.9%, but the truth is we will finish this fight. So for every opportunity you have, let the world know that we are not done yet and we must finish it. Tell them about the good works of Rotary. I'm looking forward to seeing all of us in the new year. I wish all of you a wonderful holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a 2024 that will be a year like no other. Did I say give? You know, I'm a fan of the Rotary Foundation. Also find it in your heart to give to our foundation of hope, our only vehicle of doing good in the world. Once again, Merry Christmas and see you on the other side of the year. Thank you and God bless you all. Vive la Rotary. Vive la Rotary. Vive la Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you.
So over to
Thank
you,
you,
Smita Ji.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, everyone.
So we can
Thank
connect.
you. See you.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye.
We will.
And all of that.
I learned one thing to be heard,
Bye.
and help.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. See you on Christmas Day if you can.
Bye, Smita.
Oh yeah.
Bye,
See you.
everyone.
See you
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Merry Christmas
Merry
and
Christmas.
have a
Merry
wonderful,
Christmas.
have a wonderful holiday
Merry
season to
Christmas.
everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New
See you
Year.
then. See you then. Bye.
See you in 2024.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Thank you.
Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Siri.
Bye.
Thanks for all you do. Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Thank you,
Thank you, my
everyone.
Happy New Year. Bye bye.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Thank you, Smita Ji. Ozim is
Thank
there.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ojim.
Thank you, Smita Ji, the best moderator in town. Thank you,
Thank
MG,
you.
Nazmul.
Thank you so much, Ozim. It was a wonderful meeting once again.
Yeah, except for the fact that, there was network issue and videos were not that
It happens.
proper.
It's a Zoom environment. You
Okay.
can't get,
Yeah, I know. I know.
once it's streaming, you cannot get that quality over
I know.
here.
We had no control over it.
Yeah, you have no control over here, but at least we can showcase the diversity. That's the best part out of it.
But some of the participants said that, they have no issues. They are able to see properly.
Oh, that's really great. We were really
Yeah, they
worried
saw in
that
the chat box.
how the
I
final thing will
apologize.
come out.
So, yeah, some of them wrote that, they are able
Excellent.
to see
Excellent.
everything properly. So
Everybody, thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for supporting.
thank you. Thank you, Rosia.
Hope to see you next year.
You are from which place, which country?
Chile.
Okay. You speak
Chile, South
Spanish?
America. Yes, Spanish. Es Rocío.
Español.
Sí, español. So it's Rocío, but everybody in English is Rocío.
Buongiorno.
That's great.
Buongiorno is Brazilian. No, buongiorno. Portuguese?
Hey, Sakib, good to see you, brother.
But I love Mega Lights meeting, so thanks both of you and all the effort the rest of the team does to make this monthly event. So I'm really
you can by the club members, Rotarians, or the Friends of Rotary. I mean, we are planning for a bigger show, maybe next year sometime. Showcase the dance and music of, all continents and as many countries as possible.
It will be great. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a really nice cultural project.
This time also we
Why not we invite our Rotary partners, especially the Rotaractors and Interactors, the young champs can come and showcase their talent, and that could be a nice way of showcasing the cultural diversity.
Yeah. We can.
Let's try to,
Yeah, I got it.
organize something.
Wrap up, so happy to do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we didn't get any entry from Chile. Chile, could you please send us probably some cultural dance from Chile? Can you send to us so the next time we're gonna put it as one of the entries?
Yeah, maybe I could. Yes, why not?
All Spanish music, maybe flamenco. You also have flamenco in your. Okay, Spain. Yes, yes. Not in Chile, right?
I can try to make it something here from South America to make it happen. So
You can send to our email, to my email, or to any of us email. Probably let me put my email on the chat box.
okay.
Right, you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Rotary Faith Sambo, you're welcome. Good to see you in this meeting. Yeah, I was thinking probably we could do something very, very big, just like moderator has said. Rotary Got Talent. But is it just going to be for Rotaractors?
That
just
really big thing.
That's a very good thing. I love it.
We need, Rotary Got Talent. I've been working on it for some time, right?
Yeah, like
I'm just looking at the best. Yes.
That will
Rotary
be
Got
good for
Talent.
our mental health also.
Yes, it's gonna be good. So we can work on Rotary Got Talent, right?
Yeah, that could be another signature project. I mean, we can do.
Yeah, for our group. Maybe sometime in February or March, just thereabout.
I think February, March is too early. Let's.
Yeah, here we are in summer, so everybody's going for summer holidays until March. So yes, it's gonna be hard to recruit people while everybody's in summer. School here was.
Let's stay in touch. Let's stay in touch.
Sorry, I didn't
Thank
hear
you
you.
once again, everyone. So what are we gonna see on Christmas Day? Who's celebrating Christmas? Everybody?